Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video. So I am stuck at public storage right now. I went to get something, spent about 30 minutes getting that thing, came back to my truck, put it in. All in all, it took me about 45 minutes before I turned my car on, and guess what? Nothing. I get nothing as far as trying to get back home with this thing. It sucks. It's not the first situation of this kind I've had, and had this situation like about a month ago. But I was able to get it started after like 5 tries. This time I've tried about 15 times every which way. Apparently nothing seems to work. Everything in my car works. Radio works. Blower motor works. All the lights work. All the lights on the dash work. You got the brake light and brake light, battery light, all that stuff. I'm trying to turn on the car, but nothing doesn't work. So anyway, I've been trying to figure out what the issue is. Now, this car's only been sitting for like 45 minutes, so I don't think it's the battery. But last time I thought it was the battery, but, after I got started, drove around, got to work and stuff like that, it haven't happened since, until today, till now. Anyway, I popped my hood, turned on my beams. My headlights went out, checked it out, because that's what you're supposed to do, and it looked pretty bright to me. But popped the hood anyway, and checked to see whether the terminals are good. And what is that? And I actually, terminals were a little bit, there was a little bit of corrosion on there. I gotta say, there's a little bit of corrosion on there. So what I did was I unscrewed the terminals, loosened it, took it off, and I have a screwdriver. And what I did was I actually tried to, I try to clean it up, scrape the inside of it as much as possible, scrape the battery terminals just to clean it up. Took some wipes and wiped it. I think they were good enough to start it if that was the issue. And popped it back on, tightened it, came back to my car, tried to turn on, nothing happened. Unfortunately, nothing happened. So I'm like, nothing happened. And I was like, so, okay, it's not the terminals, maybe it's the battery. All right, so I got a power pack in the back of my in my car. Took it out. It was halfway charged. Try to start it, that didn't work. So I'm like, maybe the power pack didn't have enough kick to it to start the car. So I actually went and got the manager of the place. He happened to have a another power pack. Helped me out with it. It was fully charged. It was one of those big power packs. And hooked it up. Tried to start the car. Nothing. Unfortunately, nothing. So I'm like, okay, bigger issue at this point. So I'm thinking to myself, the car wasn't running, so it couldn't be the alternator, because normally the alternator goes out on you when the car is running, or even if you're idling, your engine's got to be on for the alternator to die on you and then the car not start, etc. But putting cables to the car to jump it, if it was the alternator, it would have jumped, started it, and it would have died out immediately right after I took the cables off. So okay. So not the alternator, not the battery. So I'm going down the list of things that it could be. I tried checking the ground wire, and the ground wire had no issues at all with the ground wire. So I'm like, okay, not the ground wire. I mean, not that I could actually see where the ground wire led to, but I was actually pulling on the negative. You know, there's one that connects to the frame. Normally, if that's rusted or whatever, corrosion, broken off, your car would have trouble starting, but that wasn't the case. So I was thinking, okay, next up, let's check the fuses. Let's check the fuses and relays. So I actually popped the fuse cover and checked to see where, where the starter relay was. What I did was I actually swapped out the starter relay with another relay that was there. Nothing, same situation. I knew it wasn't the relay because I was hearing a click, but did that anyway just to be 100% sure, because I was hearing a click every time I tried to turn it on, but the car just wouldn't crank. So I was like, let me just test out the fuses. Now I don't have a fuse tester on me. I didn't end up testing the fuses. So I was like, okay. I can't test out the fuses. But here's the thing: the two when I had fuse issues that caused my car not to start, like previous cars that I've had, they were pretty much two different situations. One situation was the main fuse blew, and I could not get my car to start at all. There was no lights, no electricity going through the car. It was the main fuse that connected the battery to the fuse box. Once I swapped out that fuse, everything worked again, no problems whatsoever. Okay, that's not the case here, because I am getting electricity. I'm getting a ton of electricity because I'm actually charging my phone with it right now. Everything works. All the inside lights work. I actually tried everything out. My alarm even works on my car. My remote even works on my car. So that's not the case. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe what? Okay, so the second scenario I had as far as my fuse blown out on me, there was, I believe it was a fuse that went to the fuel pump, or the ECM of the car, the computer of the car. In that situation, what happened in that situation? All right, in that situation, the car cranked, but it wouldn't turn over. It kept on cranking, wouldn't turn over. So once I replaced it, it turned over. But that's not the situation here, because this car is not cranking whatsoever. It's not cranking at all. It's just making a clicking noise, and just no lights, no electricity, nothing like that. So, okay. All right, not the fuses. Okay, at this point, I'm kind of worried, because I'm thinking it's the starter. Now, I haven't changed the starter in this car ever. I bought this car used. I don't know if the starter has ever been changed. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. But at this point, I can't think of anything else that could cause it except for the starter on this car. And I actually did try to bump the starter. I have a long crowbar. I pretty much try to knock it. And I tried to knock it. I don't know if I did a good job of it, but unfortunately got nothing. Wasn't able to turn it on, wasn't able to get it to crank, nothing at all. So basically, unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing else I could do as far as figuring it out. Now I gotta call AAA to tow me to my place so that I could actually do, take out everything to check the starter to see if that is the case. But I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. Hey guys, what's up? So I waited for about an hour to have AAA, to get AAA to tow me to my house, and did all the tests on the fuses. It wasn't a fuse. Just wanted to be 100% sure on that, because I didn't want to take out the starter without having to test all that stuff out. Tested out, nothing. So basically what I did was I took, I thought it was a starter. I was pretty sure it was a starter. So I actually took everything off, got to the starter, and I pretty much ran a wire from the battery, from the positive of the battery to the terminal of the solenoid, and I pretty much try to bump it, see if there's anything happening with it. Nothing. The starter wouldn't start. The solenoid made a click like it did. Wouldn't start. So I ended up taking the starter out, went to AutoZone, bought a starter for $150, popped it in, and turned it on, and the car worked fine. Turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, just to make sure everything works after I put the starter in. So it was the starter that was the problem. I ended up spending about 2 or 3 hours waiting for AAA, having my car towed, etc., etc. Spent another 2 or 3 hours getting the starter out, putting it back in. And I got 100% like a lifetime warranty on the starter, so that's a good thing. I had a choice between a brand new or a used starter. Got the no, not used, but rebuilt. Got the rebuilt one. Didn't want to spend $300 on a brand new starter, but hopefully, this rebuilt starter lasts me a while. All right, so it was the starter that was the problem. You guys have the same issue. Hope this has helped you guys out. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and also please, if you guys want to leave a comment, please leave a comment, guys. All right, take care.